ready. It's going to take like a minute or so for them to set ready. So while we are waiting for our media partners to set the slides ready, we are going to start with our welcome video.
Audible? Everyone can hear me? Good? Welcome back to year 3 of the Adda Premier League. Looking forward to productive evening of some competitive bidding and spirited competition. We'll start off with Group 3. The rules are clear. If anyone has questions, Raise your hands, we'll get them clarified. Let's go. Rajat Narang, bowler, the bidding starts at 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Rajat Narang. Yep. Sunrisers with 5,000. 5,000 points for Rajat. Can anyone beat that? Sunrisers have the bid at 5,000. Any other teams going once? We see Vijay. So we got 6,000 right now for Rajat. 6,000. Do I hear 7? Yes, 7,000 from the Sunrisers. Anyone for 8? 8,000. Any bids for 8? 7,000 bid to beat from the Sunrisers at the moment. Sunrisers for Rajat going once, twice, and opening sold to the Sunrisers, Rajat Narang, 8,000 points. Next up, Rahul Solanki, all-rounder, 7,000 points for Rahul Solanki. Opening bid at 7,000 for Rahul. Do I see any bidders? Rahul Solanki for 7,000 points for this all-rounder. Any interest? Going once, twice, unsold for the moment. Let's keep moving. Shravan Sulikeri, batsman, 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Shravan. Any interest? Let's start the bidding at 5,000. 5,000 points. All right, let's keep looking around. Some interest perhaps, maybe not. Once, twice. Sunrisers, was that a hand up? No? Okay, all right. We'll keep moving on. We'll come back to Shravan. Vijay Vardhan, bowler, 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Vijay. Any interest? Any interest? 5,000 points for Vijay. He's a bowler. Going once, twice. We'll keep moving on, Sai. Raja Ganesh, all-rounder for 7,000 points. 7,000 points for Raja. Any interest? Any interest for Raja Ganesh at 7,000 points? Going once, twice, onwards we go. Yuvraj Singh, youth category, 6,000 points. 6,000 points for Yuvraj. Any interest? Any interest for Yuvraj Singh? Going once, twice. Interesting trend. Everyone starting off slow. Let's keep going, Sai. Raja Kohli, all-rounder, 7,000 points. I can assure you that Raja won't be batting with what he has in his hand. Opening bid, Sunrisers, 7,000 points. Any interest in 8,000? 8,000 for Raja. 8,000, yeah, the Raiders at 8,000. Any interest in 9? 9,000 for Raja. 9,000. Any interest? The Glenfiddich will come separately. 9,000. Any interest? 9,000 right there. 10,000? 10,000 by the Sunrisers. Do I hear 12? 12,000? Yeah, the Raiders match at 12. Off we go to 14. 14,000. Any interest? 12,000 is the bid to beat. 14,000. Any interest? Raiders have Raja right now at 12,000 going once, twice. The Sunrisers jump in at 14. 14,000 is the base bid for Raja right now. 14,000. Do I hear 16? Any interest in 16,000? 16,000. Any interest? 14,000 for the Sunrisers going once. 16,000 say the Raiders. And Tornadoes jump in at 18. Is that correct? 18,000. 18,000 is confirmed. 18,000 base points for Raja Kohli. 20,000. Any interest in 20,000? 20,000 points for Raja. Any interest? 18,000 going once, going twice, and sold to the Tornadoes for 18,000 points. Raja Kohli, all-rounder. Next up, Rajiv Pandya, bowler, 5,000 points. Any interested 5,000 points for Rajiv? 5,000 points. Rajiv Pandya is a bowler at 5,000 points. Any interest? Going once, twice. Let's keep moving. Rikane Mistry, also a bowler. 5,000 points for Rikane. Any interest in Rikane Mistry? Yeah, we've got Sampami at 5,000, and I think we see the Tornadoes as well at 6. Do we see anyone for 7? 7,000 Sampami. 7,000 is the bid to beat. 8,000. Any interest in 8,000? 8,000. Tornadoes maybe. 8,000. 7,000 bid to beat. Going once, twice. 8,000. 8,000 confirms the Tornadoes for Rikane Mistry. 9,000. See 9,000 coming in. Any interest in 10? 10,000. Tornadoes thinking about it perhaps. Any other teams? 9,000 going once, twice, and sold. Sold to Sampami for 9,000 points. Rohit Verma. Rohit Verma is an all-rounder. We will start the base at 7,000 points for Rohit. Rohit Verma for 7,000 points. Anybody? Any interest? 7,000 points for Rohit. Right here. Raiders will start at 7,000. 8,000. Smashers for 8,000. Is that correct? 8,000 say the Smashers. Any interest in 9? 9,000. 9,000. Raiders go to 9,000. 10,000 is the immediate reply from the Smashers. Are we looking at 12? 10,000 bid to beat. 12,000. Here come the Sunrisers jumping in. 12,000 bid to beat. And there come the Chargers as well at 14. 14 for Mr. Verma. 14,000. 16,000. Any interest in 16? 16,000. Yes. 16,000 say the Smashers. Any interest in 18? 18,000. 16,000 is the bid to beat. 16,000 with the Smashers is going once, is going twice, and Sampami comes in at 20, 22 or 20? 20. Sampami with the winning bid at 20 so far. The bid is still on. 20,000. 20,000. Do I hear 22? 22. Any interest in 22? 22,000 anybody? Yes, 22,000 say the Sunrisers. 22. 24,000. Let's go to 24. 22 is the Sampami. Is you guys, I'm sorry about that. Smashers with the bid at 22 right now. Smashers have it at 22. Thank you. Any interest in 24? Smashers with 22 going once, going twice, and sold. Smashers have it at 22. Rupesh Raut. Rupesh Raut, an all-rounder for 7,000 points. 7,000 points for Rupesh. Yeah, the Marvels start with 7,000 base. Marvels at 7,000. Do we see 8? 8,000 anybody? 8,000 points. 8,000 with the Tornadoes. 9,000. 9,000, the Marvels respond with 9. We have 10,000 from the Chargers. 12,000. Any interest in 12,000 points? Chargers with the winning bid at 10,000 so far. Do we hear 12,000? 10,000 for Rupesh Raut going once, going twice. Sampami comes in at 12. 12,000. Do we hear 14? 14,000. 14,000 for Rupesh Raut. 12,000 with Sampami going once, 14,000, and the Sunrisers jump in at 14. Do we hear 16? 16,000 for Rupesh Raut. 16,000. Sunrisers with 14 at the moment is the leading bid. 16,000. Any interest? 16,000 says Sampami. Any interest in 18? 18,000 for Rupesh. 16,000 with Sampami is going once, is going twice, and sold. What do we do? We possibly have erased before. All right. Then what was the number? 18. 18,000. Tornadoes come in with 18. At the absolute last moment, the Tornadoes jump in there. 18,000. Any interest in 20? 20,000. Any interest in 20,000? 18,000 for the Tornadoes is going once, is going twice, and is sold to the Tornadoes for 18. Some spirited contesting. Sahil Shah, all-rounder, and a gym boy. 7,000 points. 7,000 points for Sahil. Any interest? 7,000 points. 7,000 is the base bid. Any interest? 7,000 points. Once, twice, onwards we go. Tilak Patel, he is a bowler. 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Tilak Patel. Any interest in 5,000 points? 5,000 for the Sampami. Do we hear 6? 6,000, any interest? The Sunrisers respond with 6. Do we hear 7? 7,000 for Tilak Patel. Let's get some action. Come on, guys. 7,000 says Sampami. Do we hear 8? Raiders jump in at 8. Do we hear 9? 9,000. 9,000 with the Smashers. 10,000 respond Sampami. 12,000. Any interest in 12,000 for Tilak? Yes, Raiders 12,000. Do we hear 14? 14. Hold him up high. Hold him up high. 14,000. Any interest? 14,000 says Sampami. Do we hear 16? Any interest in 16,000? 14,000 bit to beat. 16 anybody? 14,000 for the Sampami for Tilak Varma, going once, going twice, and sold to the Sampami. Nice job, guys. Let's keep going. Sai Anup Reddy, all-rounder. Sai Anup Reddy, all-rounder. We will start the bidding at 7,000. 7,000 points. Any interest? 7,000 points for Sai Anup Reddy. Once, twice. Where Tornadoes jump in with 7,000 as the base bid. 8,000, anybody? 8,000. Any interest in 8,000? Tornadoes with 7,000 for Sai. Going once, going twice. Tornadoes have him. Sainath Varma, 7,000 points. Base bid, all-rounder. 7,000 points for Sainath Varma. Do I hear 7,000? Anybody? Any teams at 7,000? Some teams yet to open their account. Thinking, lot of strategy. 7,000 points. Anybody? Once, twice. Let's keep moving. Utkarsh Srivastava, youth category. I already see some paddles being picked up. 6,000 points for Utkarsh. Opening bid from the Marvel, 6,000. Any interest in 7? 7,000. Any interest? Utkarsh for 7,000. 7,000 say the Smashers, or the Sunrisers, I'm sorry. The Smashers is correct. So at 7,000, 8,000. Marvels responding immediately. 8,000. Any interest in 9? 9,000. Yes, 9,000 comes the quick response. Marvels, let's do 10. 10,000 comes the response. The winning bid with Marvels at the moment. Can we do better for 12,000? Any interest in 12? Marvels, you're outbidding yourselves? Probably not. Are you guys going for 12,000 Smashers? 12,000 it is. Do we hear 14? Do we hear 14? 12,000 is the winning bid at the moment. The Smashers might have him. Going once. 14,000. 16,000. The Chargers jump into the race at 16,000 along with the Sunrisers. 16,000 is the bid to beat. Any interest in 18? Any interest in 18 for Utkarsh? 16,000 with the Chargers. Going once. Going twice. Sunrisers at 18. Sunrisers with 18. Any interest in 20? 20,000. 20,000 say the Chargers. 22 respond to Sunrisers. Do we hear 24? 24 for our highest bid so far. 24. 24 say the Chargers. Let's do 26. Immediate response of 26. 28 perhaps. 28. Do we see 28,000? 26,000 currently with the Sunrisers. Going once, going twice, and sold. The Sunrisers get Utkarsh Srivastava for 26. Samid Lodi, all-rounder for 7,000 points. 7,000 points for Samid. Any interest? Going once, twice. Let's keep going. Samir Sharma, all-rounder for 7,000 points. 7,000 points for Samir. Going once, twice. Let's keep going, Sai. Sanjay Sehag, 7,000 points for this all-rounder. 7,000 points for Sanjay. Any interest? Sunrisers with 7. Anyone to beat it with 8,000? Any bids for 8? 7,000, yes. 8,000 is acknowledged by the Smashers. Anyone for 9? Anybody for 9,000? 9,000 with the Marvels. Anyone for 10? 10,000 say the Smashers. Anyone for 12? 12 is with the Marvels. 14. 14K. Any interest? 14K for Sanjay. 12,000 with the Marvels. Going once. 14K is the response. 16K is the immediate increment by the Chargers. 18K is the further response by the Marvels. Do we hear 20? 20,000. 20,000 says the Chargers. 22 says the Smashers. Sunrisers, I keep getting that wrong. Thanks for correcting me. Sunrisers with 22. 24. Any, Neil, is that 24 maybe? 24. 24 says Neil. 24 is the current. 26 says Vijay. The Chargers, 26 is the leading bid at the moment. Do we see anybody beating 26? 26 going once. 26 going twice. 28. 26 is the response. 28 for the Marvels. 28. Do we hear 30? Do we see 30,000? 30,000 says the Chargers. Do we hear 35? 35. We've crossed the magic mark. The Marvels indicate that they are exiting the race. 30 is the bid to beat with the Chargers going once, going twice, sold to the Chargers for 30,000 points. Tanuj Alam. We will start the bidding for this bowler at 5,000 points. Do we see 5,000 points for Tanuj? 5,000. Any interest perhaps? Yes, the Tornadoes will start at 5,000. Do we see 6? 6,000 for the Tornadoes. 6,000 is the bid to beat. 6,000 is the answer from the Chargers. Do we hear 7? Yes, say the Raiders at 7. Do we hear 8? 7,000 is the bid to beat. Any interest? 8,000. Yes, Marvels acknowledged at 8,000. Do we hear 9? Any interest in 9,000? 9,000 for Tanuj. Yes, Raiders 9,000. Do we hear 10? Any interest in 10,000 for Tanuj? 9,000 for Tanuj with the Raiders is going once, twice. We hear 9,000. We hear 10,000 from the Tornadoes. Do we hear 12? Any interest in 12? 12,000 for Tanuj. Any interest whatsoever? 10 is the bid to beat. 10K. 12,000. Any interest? 10,000 with the Tornadoes is going once. It's going twice. Sold. The Tornadoes have for 10,000. Srinivas Udutula. Srinivas is a batsman. Let's start the bidding for him at 5,000 points. 5,000 for Srinivas. Any interest? Srinivas for 5,000. Any interest? Once. Yep, there we go. We have an opening bid. 5,000 points. Do we hear 6,000? 6,000. Any interest in 6,000? 5,000 with the Smashers is the bid to beat. Do we hear 6? 5,000 for the Smashers is going once, twice, and they have it. 5,000. Shashank Reddy. Shashank Reddy is an all-rounder, and we will start the bidding at 7,000 points. 7,000 points for Shashank. Any interest? 7,000 points for Shashank. Any interest at all? We have an opening bid for Shashank with the Chargers at 7,000. Do we have 8? Do we have 8,000? Chargers for Shashank Reddy with 7,000 is going once, going twice, and the Chargers have him at the base price. Let's keep going. Ashish Jain is a wicketkeeper. Our first wicketkeeper of the evening, if I'm not mistaken. We'll start him off at 4,000 points. 4,000 points for Ashish. Any interest? Any interest at 4,000 points? Yeah? Tornadoes thinking about it perhaps? No? 4,000 points. Opening bid. 4,000 points is met. Any interest in 5? Any interest in 5,000? Smashers leading at 4,000 right now. Any interest with 5? 5,000. Any interest? 4,000 is going once. Yep, 5,000 is the response from the Chargers. Do we hear 6? Do we hear 6,000? Chargers have him at 5 so far. Do we hear 6? 6,000? 5,000 going once, going twice. Chargers with 5,000 points. Vishnu Pranav youth category. 6,000 points. 6,000 points for Vishnu. Do we hear 6,000? Any opening? 6,000 base bid. Come on, folks, you can do better. 6,000. Let's see it. Anybody? 6,000 once, twice. Let's keep moving, Sai. Shubham Singh Gaur. Shubham is an all-rounder, and we'll start him off at 7,000. 7,000 for Shubham. Any interest? 7,000 points for Shubham. Opening bid from the Sampami, 7,000. Do we hear 8? Do we see 8,000? Any interest in 8,000? 7,000 with the Sampami going once, going twice. The chargers respond with 8. 8,000 is the current bid for Shubham. Do we hear 9? 9,000 is the marvels. Do we see 10? 10,000. Sampami responds with 10. Do we see any response for 12? 12,000. Any interest in 12? 10,000 bid to beat Sampami. 12,000 responds the chargers. 14,000 say the marvels. Can anyone go to 16? 16 is the current bid that we have to look at. 14,000 bid to beat. 16,000. Any interest? 16,000 in Shubham. Any interest in 16? 14,000 with the marvels. Going once. 16,000 say the chargers. Do we hear 18? Chargers currently have him at 16. Do we hear 18? Chargers for 16,000 is going once. 18,000 say the marvels. Do we hear 20? 20,000. Any interest in 20,000? 18,000 with the marvels. Current bid to beat. Going once. Going twice. And sold to the marvels. Prithvik Raj. Prithvik Raj is a bowler, and we will start him off at 5,000 points. Any interest? 5,000 points for Prithvik. Some teams are very, very quiet this evening. Any interest in 5,000 points? Prithvik, once, twice. Let's keep rolling. Satya Acharya, batsman at 5,000. Any interest in Satya? 5,000 points. Any interest? 5,000 points. Once, twice. Let's keep going. Shail Shah. Let's see if we can open the bidding at 5,000 points for Mr. Shah. 5,000. Any interest in Shail? 5,000. 5,000 points going once, twice. Unsold. Shashank Navratna, 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Shashank. Any interest? He's a batsman. Any interest in Shashank at 5,000? Once. Yep, we've got the Sunrisers with 5,000. Any interest in 6? 6,000 perhaps? Any interest in 6,000? 5,000 for the Sunrisers. Going once, going twice. Sold to the Sunrisers for 5,000 points. Vimal Bana, bowler at 5,000 points. The Sunrisers say, we will take a crack at 5,000. 5,000 points. Do we hear 6? 6,000. Any interest in Vimal? 6,000. Sunrisers looking again to scoop at the base price. Going once, going twice. Tornadoes respond for 6. Chargers respond with 7. We're looking at 8. No, Chargers withdraw. So the bid required right now is for 7. 7,000 is the response. Sunrisers with 7. Do we hear 8? Do we hear 8? 7,000 is the bid to beat. 8,000 say the Tornadoes. Do we hear 9? Do we see 9,000? Any interest? 9,000. 8,000 for the Tornadoes is going once. It's going twice. Tornadoes have him at 8. Mitali Patwardhan, youth category, starting at 6,000 points. 6,000 points for Mitali. 6,000 points. Any bids? Mitali, base bid of 6,000 points, youth category. Once. The first girl player to come up in Adda in 3 years. I think that deserves a round of applause in itself. Thank you for pointing that out. That's a fantastic stat. Well done. Any interest? 6,000 points. Opening bid. Vijay with the Chargers at 6,000 for Mithali. Do we hear 7? Do we hear 7? Any interest? 7,000. 6,000 is the bid to beat with the Chargers going once, going twice. Chargers have Mithali at 6,000 points. Well done, well done. Veer Patel, bowler at 5,000 points. 5,000 points for this bowler. Veer Patel, opening bids. Opening bids. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit, you guys. Any interest? Once. Yep, we see you, Sampami. 5,000 points. Do we hear 6? 6,000. Any interest? 6,000. Sampami for Veer going once, going twice. Yep, I see you guys, Supernovas with 6,000. 6,000. Any interest in 7? 7. Any interest in 7,000? Supernovas have him for 6,000 right now, going once, going twice. Sold to the Supernovas for 6,000. Sagar Malem, all-rounder at 7,000 points. Sagar at 7,000. Let's start the bidding. Sagar Malem, going once, twice. Yeah, Raiders open up at 7,000. Do we hear 8? Do we hear 8? 7,000 is the bid to beat. Raiders have Sagar going once, going twice. Sold. Raiders have him at 7,000. Sohail Warwick, batsman at 5,000 points. Sohail Warwick at 5,000. Any interest? Sohail for 5,000. Sohail going once. Yeah, we see 2 people with interest. The Smashers open up for 5,000. Sunrisers respond with 6. Do we hear 7? Anyone at 7? 7,000 for the Raiders, 8,000 for the Smashers, 9,000 for Sunrisers, 10,000 from the Smashers, 12,000. Yes, we have some animated bidding. Sunrisers leading the charge at 12. Do we hear 14? 14. Any interest? The Sunrisers were almost thinking about outbidding themselves. The Raiders have it at 14. 16. 16, say the Smashers. Any interest in 18? Yes, at 18. Any interest in 20? Sunrisers leading at 18. And we have a new team entering the charge. The Chargers with 20,000. 22. Any interest in 22 for Sohail? Chargers leading at 20. Marvels jump in. Can we make this a family event? We've got 22,000 from the Marvels. Do we have 24? Couple more teams jump in. Everybody's involved. 22,000, the Marvels. Do we hear 24? 24. 22 is the bid to beat. Going once. 24, say the Tornadoes. 26, say the Sunrisers. 28, perhaps? 28. Any interest? 28. 26 with the Sunrisers going once, going twice. 28, say the Tornadoes. Do we hear 30? 30, say the Sunrisers again. 35. 35. Anyone with 35? 30,000 with the Sunrisers for Sohail going once. 35 is the response from the Tornadoes. Do we hear 40? 40. Looking for 40,000. 35,000 with the Tornadoes going once, going twice, and sold to the Tornadoes. Sitaram. Sitaramaraju at 5,000 points as a batsman. Any interest? Sitaramaraju, 5,000 opening bid from the Smashers, 5,000. 6,000 say the Raiders. Do we hear 7? Raiders with 6,000 for Sitaramaraju going once. 7,000 say the Sunrisers. 8,000 say the Sunrisers, in fact. Do we hear 9,000? 9,000 with the Raiders. 10,000 with the Smashers. 12,000, any interest? Any interest? 12,000 say the Sunrisers. 14,000 say the Raiders. Any interest in 16? 14,000 with the Raiders is going once. It's going twice. Response, 16,000 say the Sunrisers. Do we see 18? 18,000 potentially. 16,000, and we see 18 as a response from the Raiders. Do we see 20? 18,000 is going once. 18,000 going twice. And the Raiders have him at 18,000. Sudhanshu. There is the first right to match card played for this evening. Neil, that was nice and sneaky last minute. I love it. The right to match card has been played. Raiders, unfortunate. All right. Commissioner, we've collected their card. Their right to match card. Okay, fantastic. Sudhanshu Bajpai, wicketkeeper, 4,000 points. 4,000 points. We open the bidding with the smashes at 4,000. Do we see 5? 5,000. Any interest? 5,000 say the Raiders. Do we see 6? 6,000. Any? Yep, 6,000 say the Smashers. 7,000. Raiders respond with 7. Do we see 8? Do we see 8,000? 7,000 with the Raiders is going once. 8,000 is the response from the Smashers. 9,000 say the Raiders. Do we see 10? 10. Do we see 12? 12,000 with the Raiders. 14. Do we see 14? Raiders have him at 12,000 so far, going once. 14,000. 14,016 is the response. Do we see 18? 18,000. Do we have 20? 20,000. Do we see 22? Anybody else interested? 22. 20,000 with the Raiders is going once, going twice. In we go. Here we go with the Chargers at 22. Here we go with the Sunrisers at 24. Wow. 26 say the Smashers, original bidders. 28 say the Raiders. Let's hit 30. 30 with the Chargers. 35 say the Smashers. 40. 40 say the Sunrisers. 45. Any interest in 45? 40 with the Sunrisers is going once. 45 say the Smashers. 50. Any interest in 50? 45 with the Smashers going once, going twice, and sold to the Smashers. 45,000. Swapnil Gupta, batsman, 5,000 points. Do we hear 5,000 for Swapnil? 5,000 points for Swapnil. Any interest? Yup, Tornadoes with 5,000. Do we hear 6? Any interest in 6,000? Yes, Marvels, I see you at 6. Any interest? 7,000. 7,000. Marvels with 6,000 for Swapnil is going once. It's going twice. The Tornadoes respond with 7. 8 is the response. Do we go Supernovas? Withdrawn? 8,000 is the bid to beat with the Marvels. Do we see 9? 9,000? 8,000 with the Marvels, 9,000 with the Tornadoes. 10, looking for 10. 9,000 is the bid to beat. 9,000 with the Tornadoes is going once. It's going twice. The Marvels respond with 10. Do we hear 12? Do we hear 12 for Swapnil? 10,000 with the Marvels going once, going twice. Sold to the Marvels for 10,000. Piyush Purohit, all-rounder at 7,000 points. All-rounder for Piyush, 7,000 points. Any interest? Piyush is going once, twice. Yep, we see you, Vijay. All right, 7,000 from the Chargers. We see 8,000. 8,000, any interest? 8,000. 7,000 for the Chargers going once, twice, and sold to the Chargers at the base price. 7,000. Tirupati Yadav Manda, 5,000 points for Tirupati. 5,000. What's going on? All good? 5,000 points. Let's keep going. 5,000. Base bid for this bowler. 5,000. 5,000. Any interest? Any interest? 5,000 points. Once, twice, unsold. Venkat Mahendra. He is a bowler. We will start him off at 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Venkat. Any interest? Any interest? Yeah, I see you. Sunrisers, 5,000. Do we see 6? 6,000 for Venkat. 6,000 for Venkat. The Sunrisers going once, twice, sold to the Sunrisers at the base price. Javian Simpson, all-rounder at 7,000. Javian Simpson, 7,000. Opening bids at 7. Anybody? 7,000. 7,000 for Mr. Simpson. 7,000. Yeah, Raiders at 7. Do we see 8? 8,000. Any interest? Raiders with 7,000 going once. Tornadoes respond with 8. Hold them up high, please. Anyone with 9? 9,000 say the Raiders. Any response for 10? Anyone for 10? Yes, Marvels, I see you at 10. Do we see 12? Tornadoes with 12? Yes, in, out. 12,000 is the bid. 12,000, actually, I think I saw the Marvels first, but you're saying it was them? At the same time? Guys, 12,000, 2 teams at 12,000 right now. We're going to ask Shirish to break it. 12,000? Okay. So you guys are at 12,000 right now. You guys were at 10. 12,000 right now with the Tornadoes. Anybody at 14? Thank you for the clarification. Raiders at 14. Raiders at 14. Any interest in 16? Yes, 16 with the Marvels. Any interest in 18? 18. 16 with, yeah, 18 with the Raiders. I see it. Any interest in 20? 20,000. Any interest? Yes. Welcome to the race, Sunrisers. 20,000. Do we see 22? 22. Any interest in 22? 20,000 bit to beat with the Sunrisers. Going once. Going twice. Raiders, hold them up high. 22. 22 is the bid to beat. 24. Any interest? Guys, you got to hold it up high. 24. Any interest? 22 is the bid to beat with the Raiders. Going once. Going twice. Raiders have it locked at 22. Vijayvardhan Yedula. He is a bowler. 5,000 points. 5,000 points for Vijay. Any interest? 5,000 points. Opening bids. Yes, Sunrisers. 5,000. Do we have 6? Do we have 6,000? 6,000 points. Any interest? 5,000 points with the Sunrisers is going once. It's going twice. And they have at 5,000. Shibraz Sheikh. Let's start him off at 7,000 points for this all-rounder. 7,000 points for Shibraz. Any interest? 7,000 points. 7,000 points for Shibraz. Going once, twice. Raiders with 7,000. Any interest in 8? 8,000 points. Raiders with 7,000 for Shibraz. Going once. Response from the Sampami, 8,000. Do we hear 9? Come on, guys. Let's do 9,000. Any interest? 9,000. 9,000 say the Raiders. Do we hear 10? 10 says Sampami. Do we hear 12? 12,000. Any interest from 12,000? 10,000 is the bid to beat. Do we hear 12? Sampami, you have it at 10,000 right now. Is that correct? 10,000. Anyone for 12? Going once. Going twice. Response, 12,000 from the Sunrisers. 14? No? Withdrawn at 12? 12,000 is the bid to beat. Sunrisers. 14, say Sampami. Do we hear 16? 16,000, any interest? 14,000 for Shibraz is going once. Is going twice. And is sold. Sampami, 14,000. Nicely done. Let's keep going. Rauf Shah, 7,000 points. All-rounder. Start the bidding for Rauf. 7,000. Any interest? Once, twice, unsold. Vishwas Sodhi, bowler. 5,000 points for Vishwas. Any interest? Once. Yep, Sunrisers with 5,000. Any interest in 6? Any interest in 6? Nope, 5,000 going once. Yep, I see you guys. The Smashers with 6,000. Do we see 7? 7,000 Sunrisers perhaps. 7,000. 6,000 bid to beat from the Smashers going once. 7,000 is the response. Do we hear 8? 8,000 says there is the further response. Do we hear 9 as a one-upper? 9 perhaps. 9. 8 is the bid to beat. 8 for the smashes is going once. 9,000 comes in. Do we hear 10? We hear 10. Do we hear 12? We do hear 12. Come on, let's go with 14. Animated responses. Do we hear 14? 12 with the Sunrisers is the bid to beat. Do we hear 14? 12,000 is going once. It's going twice. And is sold to the Sunrisers. But we have a right to match card. The second of the evening, right to match card. Let's keep going. Yashwant Chowdhury, bowler, 5,000. Yashwant. Any interest in Yashwant? Once, twice. Raiders with 5,000, 6,000. 6,000, say the Sunrisers, is that correct? Yes, 6,000. Do we hear 7? Yes, say the Raiders at 7. Do we see 8? Do we hear 8? 7,000 with the Raiders is going once, going twice. Sold to the Raiders. Zain Hasib. Zain Hasib is a bowler who starts at 5,000. 5,000 points for Zain. Any interest? 5,000 points. Zain Hasib once, twice, unsold. Venkat Velaga. Venkat Velaga, wicketkeeper at 4,000. Opening bid from the Smashers at 4,000. Do we hear 5? Smashers with 4. Do we hear 5? Smashers with 4,000 for Venkat is going once, twice. Smashers have him at 4,000 base bid. Commissioner. End of round 1?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Thank you. So we are done with group 3, which is round 1. Let's take a quick 5-minute break and we'll reconvene in like 5 minutes. And then we'll take the next chit for the next group. Thank you. I would like to call Mr. Tony to pick the next chit. Let's take let's take the group and then they can take so that we'll be ready for so Tony, please. You can randomly pick a chit. That's how we used to play in our childhood. So it's G2. Group 2. So after we come back, we are going to do group 2. Thanks, Tony.